Hi, boys and girls. It's Mr. Page coming at you again about ecosystems. Today, we're going to learn the second part of cycles in the ecosystem. We spoke last time about part one, the water cycle and the oxygen cycle. Today, we're going to talk about the carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, and the phosphorus cycle. Here's a picture of the carbon cycle. As you know, carbon dioxide is emitted after cell respiration from both plants and animals. Also, it is emitted from factories as they burn fossil fuels like oil, coal, natural gas. Also, plants absorb carbon dioxide when they perform photosynthesis. The decay of plants and animals also is one source of carbon dioxide in the process of decay, and that ultimately forms fossil fuels. The decay of plants and animals forms coal over time, natural gas, and also oil, which is used in plants, factories to burn and perform their duties at the factory, which causes carbon dioxide. Too much carbon dioxide, however, in the atmosphere is the cause of global warming, that greenhouse effect that collects all the carbon dioxide in the ozone layer, and it blocks the heat from escaping, which causes global warming. Much of our carbon in the atmosphere comes from CO2, resulting from plant and animal cell respiration. A good defense against global warming is to plant more trees. Remember, trees consume CO2 in the photosynthesis process. So the more trees you have, the more you're going to use up that excess carbon dioxide to eliminate the greenhouse effect. Some of the carbon remains in the soil and forms fossil fuels like natural gas, coal, and oil. We burn these fuels, which give off even more carbon dioxide. We burn them in factories, we burn them when we use our cars, the combustion car exhaust, factories burning coal, producing electricity by burning coal. All of these factors increase the carbon footprint. Now we want to introduce the nitrogen cycle. Even though nitrogen is 78% of the air that we breathe, 78%, we as humans and animals, we cannot benefit from that nitrogen in the air. We have to get it from the plants that we eat, vegetables and plants. Much of the nitrogen cycle takes place in the soil. Plants get their nitrogen from the soil. They don't get it from the air either. Animals, including humans, get nitrogen through eating producers like plants, vegetables, not from the air we breathe. Even though, as I mentioned, even though nitrogen is 78% of the natural atmosphere, we need bacteria in the soil to break it down so that plants can absorb it. Then we eat the plants and the vegetables. Now our bodies can use the nitrogen. Decomposers get their nitrogen by eating dead plants and animals. Now, the phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle begins with rocks, natural rocks in the dirt. As rain and weather breaks them down, it weathers the rocks and it wears them down, extracting phosphorus from the rocks. The phosphorus goes into the soil. Plants take up the phosphorus from the soil. Animals in the food chain, the first uh, element or the food chain in this picture it would be the snail. Snails eat the plants, frogs eat the snails. Frogs die, they get decomposed by fungi like mushrooms, and it goes back into the soil. There are also human sources uh, of phosphorus in the soil, and that would be in the form of fertilizers used by farmers. Fertilizers like phosphorus help plants grow faster, bigger. So it improves crop development. You get more crops, more corn, more beans, um, and it feeds more people. So that's why, and farmers make more money. So that's why they use fertilizers. One of the biggest ingredients of fertilizers is phosphorus. Well, that phosphorus, after it rains on the farmland, it runs off, as you see here in the picture on the right. That water runs off into our streams and our rivers and lakes, and it can cause problems. One of the big problems is called algae blooms. You can see here this picture of fish. Many fish die because of algae blooms as a result of excess phosphorus in the waterways. And the algae covers up the surface of the water. The sun can't get down to the plants in the lake. So then the plants don't have sunlight. They can't perform photosynthesis and make their food. And through respiration in the plants, no oxygen goes into the water. So then the fish get suffocated. Well, that's it, guys. We went over three more cycles, the carbon, nitrogen, and the phosphorus cycles, and that would cover the big five. Feel free to watch this video again. Be sure to complete the assignment associated with the lesson. And remember, learn something new every day. Every day, learn something new. Up next, Earth's major systems.